Welcome back for the final part of the Long Voyage, week 2, and it's probably not going to be a full hour because we've gone a little bit over, but that's all right. We'll get some more in here. Sometime during this funeral for all the for all the dead. And sometime during that whole process, it's made clear that while you are only burning some because you can't get everyone here, this funeral is meant to be for everyone who died here, who was in your families, your friends, everybody who was in the service of the Jarl of Swatofen and so on. So basically, it's meant to represent everyone, even though there wasn't room enough for everyone on the pyre. At some point, when the flames finally start to well, not die down, because they won't for quite a long time, but at least when the immediate impact has settled for all of you, Ormer jumps up on the stern of the Fagerferd, which is obviously beached. So he's up slightly higher than the rest of you. And he holds out something in his hand. And it is, in fact, a pendant of some kind. He says, "I dragged this off the neck of the swine that's now feeding the ravens inside the gates." Then he holds it aloft, and you can't really see what it is. It's a small thing, obviously, but he eventually he gives it to Ronnie, and he starts passing it around so everybody can see it. It's a small pendant, but it's a pendant that doesn't represent any of the powers that are worshipped in this part of the Southlands. It is, however, a hand. It's a stylized hand, a fist. And he says that thing is, well, it means only one thing. He says it means that the Phalans have not only sold us, not only betrayed us, but they've betrayed the Raven Lady as well. Because that thing, he says, and points to whoever is holding, the pendant, points towards the pendant. That thing is a symbol of strife. They have, apparently, that, as far as I can see, it can only mean that they've gone over to the Sword of Strife. The whole fucking family.
Brody growls.
The ravens have seen it, so therefore has she.
Oh yeah.
They will all
But
die.
I put it to you now, because there's an ocean out there, he says, and gestures towards the open sea. And we are going there. And we are getting stronger. And we're getting even. But I will put it to you. Do you wish to go to Vananes and deliver this message ourselves? Or do we let the ravens carry the message? What do you want? He
I
looks-
reckon the ravens are faster than we are.
I agree, says Ronnie. I think that goes without saying. They will fly faster than even we can row.
If we were to go to Valaness ourselves, even if our message could be more heartfelt than what Raven's eyes can see, is there any guarantee that we would be able then to leave and travel the oceans afterwards? Would the Raven Lady understand?
I see no reason why we wouldn't, but it might not be for a while. And there would be people who would not understand why we would want to do so instead of immediately setting out to find the Phalans and see them dead. Of course, the problem with that is that we are one crew. Let us be strong. Let the Raven Lady prepare her war. And we will be back here, and we will fight in it when that time comes.
Yes. She has seen. They'll understand.
He turns and looks towards Frothy. Says, your family, you have a tradition of reading the bones. Do you know the art? I know you have Scyther. We saw it today, and we saw it last night, and we've seen it before, and I hope we will see it again. But do the bones speak to you?
I think Frodi opens his mouth and then closes it again, and then he nods and says, I have only done it a few times, but I have gotten results, and I can learn.
He nods, and he says, well, then do learn. Because I want to know when we must be ready to travel back here. Because I will not let those traitorous pigs escape our swords, our axes, our spears, our arrows.
I can ask them now.
Do. Everybody spreads so that you have space.
Well, that's nice of them. And
So you have basically a circle forms around you of people who look towards you, and there is a massive amount of power in what is happening with the funeral and everything. So you get a +3 modifier on your skill for this test.
I don't know if that is a skill. I took a trait or merit.
That's true. You took a merit for it. Yes.
So once per day, I may divine,
That is
either actively or receive passive signs.
Yes. So
Because we didn't quite let it work like it says in
that's
the
true.
book.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
But I think Frodi will definitely pick up the bones and hold them in front of his mouth as he whispers a prayer to every relevant power.
Yeah. That is first and foremost in this case. That's first and foremost the Wanderer. But
Yeah.
and you throw the bones and they land as they may, and you see greatness in front of your eyes. You see great deeds on the ground, in the bones. You see war, you see pain, but you see wealth and riches. Basically, you see all the signs of war. But first and foremost, you see glory.
I see glory in our future. Boats full of glory and wealth and war. Definitely war. But we will earn glory through it.
There's a general muttering of, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Elva is one of those going, yeah.
Yeah. Well then, Rani says, he's the first mate. He steps forward and says, that's good. Then, Captain, so that we may earn our glory and our riches, and so that we may better ourselves at war, where do we sail first? And Ormer smiles. It's not warm. He's still way too affected by everything, but there is a very, very calculated determination on his face when he says, the Green Shores have plenty of swords left that are fighting each other. I don't care which one of them comes out in the end as the winner. In the end, the Raven Lady will kill whoever stands before her. But I don't see a reason why we can't earn a solid wage fighting for one of them. In the meantime, I don't see why we can't better ourselves at war fighting there. And then we'll see where we go from there. And he looks at all of you and says, who here has ever actually been to the Green Shores? A couple of people, of course. I mean, especially the more experienced crewmen, they put up their hands. I think Baggy had been there as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once. So
Yeah.
he puts up his hand as well.
Yeah. And Ormer grins and says, I haven't been there myself. I've heard all the stories, but is it true then? Are they really that small and that scrawny?
Yes.
Well,
They really are.
Well, I suppose we should make a fine impression then when we get there.
We'll be giants among them.
I kind of like the sound of that.
Yes. I do as well.
Like, how short are they?
Baggy holds a hand to his hip.
Holy
Exaggerating, but
Yeah, you see in the background, Yangather, one of the other two battle maidens. She's just about to actually do the same thing with her hand, except she's at her at bosom height, and then she sees what Baggy does, and she just puts her hand down immediately because his is better.
Well, Ilva, who has never been there, gets wide-eyed and goes, holy shit, are you sure they're not, strangely made? Like the few ones we get that's too tiny.
they might be.
Well,
Either way, it would be good to teach such pipsqueaks what it truly means to make war.
there are a couple of people who agree with Sindri on that. There are definitely a few people who will go, yes, definitely, yay.
But how do you prevent yourself from stepping on them? You have to look down all the time.
Yes. And then you do look down all the time, so as to not squish them.
I'm gonna trip over all of them, aren't I? Says the clumsy battle maiden.
Perhaps you should stay on ship.
But I want to see the weird little people.
That's fine. Says Black Sweetie. They're scrawny little things, but they're brave enough. I've seen them. For their size, they fight well for their size.
Huh. I bet I
would-
can drop kick one over a fence.
Probably, yes. I think there's little doubt of that, actually.
To be fair, I think Ilva could drop kick one of us over a fence.
Hey, not me.
Ilva looks like she's about to take the challenge.
Yeah, I'd say, you care to put that theory to the test later?
He just looks at Ilva with a big wide grin and yeah, do try it. Look on his face.
Ilva does look like she's weighing him in her head.
Well, Sweetie is one of the most accomplished warriors on the ship, so
Yeah, she knows that, but she's like, I wonder how much I need to train to actually drop kick him.
yeah. That said, he also says, now, obviously, he says, it'd be foolish of any of us to walk in there and be unprepared. And while they're smaller than us, as I said, they're brave enough, and they're good archers. They make
Probably fight different too.
They do. And they make very good bows. And last time I was there, he says, they had started using horses. It's not all of them, obviously. Not everybody there can afford a horse. But they use men on horseback, both with bows and with long spears. That makes them dangerous.
Ah, that just brings them up to our size.
Yes, indeed. Now, I have to say, Baggy, I like your attitude. I think, he says, and thumps his chest, and turns around while he's standing with the fire from the ship, the burning ship behind him, and he spreads his arms out to the side, and he says, "Well, the captain said it. Whoever wins in the Green Shores, the Raven Lady is going to take care of them sooner or later. But why don't we go and make sure that whoever that winner is at least provides her with some decent sport when that time comes?"
That would be nice.
Out of character, you have no fucking clue.
Shh.
Hey, I have not spoiled anything in particular.
No,
No, but
really
you've made me curious.
Or better go and read the book.
Well, guess who isn't allowed to read the book yet?
the
Hope.
So he grins again. It's a mirthless sort of facial expression, but what becomes obvious is both he and many of the others on the crew, they're pumping themselves up. They're psyching themselves because it's a long sail. It's a long journey. Long voyage. And it's it means leaving behind everything they've known. The one thing I would say, who is most likely to notice this? I think Gulfi and Sindri, I think, would probably be the two people who are most likely to notice this. But you do see one of the crew members. He's sitting somewhat off to himself, and not really. He's watching he's watching the pyre, but he's not really taking part in anything else. And it's...
Is that crew member me?
Nope, it's this guy. Oh, because you were still there, you threw the bones and everything, so You've been
Yes.
doing something
Oh.
else.
I think Brody's been
Judy.
quite distracted since then.
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty fire.
This fellow, yes, this fellow.
Yes. So, he's sitting to himself, staring into the fire.
Hmm. I think I shall indulge my curiosity. Sindri will quietly take his leave from the rest and go over to him.
So you head over to Doiri, and he doesn't look up when you get there. It's like he's in a completely different place. So yeah.
Silver, for your thoughts, Joey?
Sorry, one more time.
Silver, for your thoughts, Jory?
Ah. Oh, my thoughts aren't worth a whole silver piece, he says.
Well.
I'm not sure I'm worth a silver piece, or even if my life is.
Well, that rather depends, doesn't it? Let me ask you some simple questions then. Do you in any way condone that? What has brought about that being necessary, he says, pointing at the burning ship.
I want to lay my hands on Gunnar Phelan, and I want to tear his tongue out of his mouth, and then I want to stand there and watch him drown on his own blood.
Excellent. And you do not in any way, at any point in the near or distant future, intend to betray this crew or Orma in any way, shape, or form?
I would readily die for any one of you. I don't even know most of you all that well.
Well, there you are then.
But you are all I have left. But I'm still from their lands. Thieving bastards took everything from me. Twice now. Twice!
I think we can safely say that you have disowned them if they have not disowned you as well. Besides, you were put on this ship for a reason like the rest of us. You are here alongside us, a part of this crew. We, all of us, including you, are all that is left of Svartafen and Hurbor. You are part of this small, angry, but close-knit little country called Fagafair now.
Yes.
And if no one else says it, I certainly will. I will happily fight and die for you as well. And if any man or woman on this crew takes exception to your being here, they'll have to answer to me, small though my position may be.
But it means something to hear someone say that, he says, and reaches out with a hand, extends a hand to you.
Yes. Sindri takes it and...
Thank you. Twice.
All the more reason for you to take your vengeance twice as hard.
There is no curse in our tongue or in the tongue of any of the slaves we hold or keep. There is no damnation deep enough for this kind of meeting. I will I will have my vengeance somehow. That
Good
is-
to hear.
Let's go back to the others. I'm sure they're already wondering what is going on.
Yes. You're part of the crew. We must
Thank you.
all do this together.
Thank you. I'll remember it. And well, you guys go back to the others, and what do the rest of you do with the rest of the evening?
Well, for Frodi it's quite easy. He will spend the rest of the evening staring at the pyre
Yeah,
and occasionally going, huh? As if he heard something.
probably because occasionally he does hear something.
Yes.
I think for Baggy, he's spending the evening telling tall tales about the Green Shores.
Yes.
To anyone who will listen.
Yes.
Poor Hilda.
Oh, she's gonna be so disappointed when she gets there.
She'll be tapping her warhammer, quietly looking at Becky with, and where is the flying unicorns?
Oh, great.
I would say if we had access to any non-ship bound food, then Gilfie would try to cook something normal on the show,
Yes.
like a normal meal instead of
Yeah.
like ship food.
Yes.
If they hunted anything or stuff like that.
Yeah. It's you basically there hasn't been anybody sent out to hunt because the risk of more people being ambushed is too great. But what has been done is somebody has caught a couple of cows and a pig that was running around, and seeing as they are going to be of very little use to anyone now, they've been repurposed. Somebody's also managed to get a couple of barrels and some salts, and basically they're salting. They've divided up the pig and they're salting it. But the cows have been put down, and it takes all night to roast them, obviously. But yeah, you have time.
And probably during the whatever he's during the whole process, he's like semi quietly, not too loud, singing some singing like songs, but in a language that only some people would understand, I suppose. Whoever speaks the language of Tirglas.
All right. Well, some of them actually clearly understands what it is you're doing and look towards you with this whole, wow, where did you learn those? But on the other hand, nobody wants to ruin the meal, so nobody actually interrupts you.
No, to be fair, if anybody it's like, I would say he's so skittish that if anybody takes any offense, he'll probably switch to like normal like Southlander songs.
Yes. There is one more thing that happens though, over the course of the evening and night. At some point in the very late hours before midnight, when the moon is obviously at its zenith, Frothy has been looking into the fire for all this time, and
Utterly transfixed.
But it's also obviously it kind of hurts your retina after a while. It can't, if you're staring
Yeah.
directly into fire, that's what happens. He's more used to it than most, obviously. So for him,
He's been training looking at the sun.
he pretty much. He's also he is also a man who can, as you've just seen, he can take omens, and as you sit there and stare into the fire, you see suddenly, you see that the fire, it turns. I mean, it is a huge bonfire, but suddenly it burns out while you're sitting there looking at it. It doesn't burn out while the rest of you are looking at it. It's just something he sees. It burns out, and there's no light, none whatsoever. Everything gets very dark. You hear the cries of ravens again, like the ones that you heard over the ruins earlier. One, two, then many ravens, and you can feel the force of their wings beating as they fly past you. You're literally surrounded by ravens, except you're standing in the dark, so you can't actually see them. And you hear footfall. There's a footfall there, like somebody who's walking slowly with very, very heavy steps.
It definitely looks that direction, even though it's pitch black.
Yes. It's a little bit cold now that the fire has gone out. This feeling of suddenly there isn't this blast heat from the bonfire anymore. So you kind of have this feeling like your skin is tickling a little bit because it's suddenly very cold. And whoever else is there is walking around you. So clearly, whoever it is aware that you are there. Because this individual is walking around you very slowly, very methodically.
Well, I think after a while, Frodi will ask, not necessarily very loud, but who's there?
There's a chuckle in the darkness. It's inhuman.
Am I armed currently?
Yes, you are.
In that case, yeah, I'll probably draw steel. Not necessarily. Is that considered rude?
No, not at all.
In that case, he will definitely, draw his weapon.
Yes.
And
The rest of you, incidentally, do not see this still. You just see him sitting there staring into the fire. And then you... so you draw your weapon.
Yeah, show yourself.
I can't. There's no light here.
Oh. I try to create a small flame in my hand.
Yeah. You there's a small flame. It lights up your own face. Not much else. The voice in the darkness goes, so that's what you look like.
I try holding it out towards the direction of the voice.
You see a puff of frost in the air. And
Someone exhaling.
Somebody is exhaling in bitter cold. And again, this individual moves around you. All the way around you, comes back to your front again. And says, well, at least there's enough warrior in you that you actually, well, you're prepared to defend yourself. Are you prepared to defend Ormer and what's left of this crew as well?
With my life.
Good. Then, Frodi, I think you are probably ready.
For what?
A very long voyage. And into the light steps Well, her looks
Yeah, Ilva's gonna be
Looks-
so envious.
looks straight at you.
I think Frodi's jaw drops because he's
Yeah.
only seen this woman when he was 5, but
Yeah.
that's an image that sticks.
And she still dwarfs him. He's not a small man, but she is a monster. So she looks down from all the way up there. She looks down at him and says, I knew your grandmother.
Yes, and he, does whatever salute is appropriate.
She was a wise woman. There is power in your line, Frodi Eilifrson. A lot of power. I think, she says, and she takes a single step back as if she's about ready to leave. I think you will do nicely. So will the others. I've seen all of you. Even the runt. You will do well. Unleash the raven and let it fly. And we're gonna end it there.
That legit gave me chills.
I just imagine, meanwhile, in the real world, not in his mind, Ilva is waving a hand in front of his face with a hello!
Anybody
Yeah.
home?
I want to play card games with you, Brody.
Has that effect on people.
Just like,
So-
oh my god, Brody! Duk 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 duk.
Yes. And incidentally, I think you guys should all have some XP.
Yay!
I like
I think you should all have 3 XP for tonight.
Yay!
Because we can have funs with the fights, and I'm really, really pleased that it worked so well, because again, it's the first time we did it. And yeah, if anybody needs help spending their XP and so on in the time between now and next time we play, just let me know and I'll gladly help out.
Yay!
Other than that,
Yep.
we will obviously see everybody back here next week for more of the Long Voyage. And yeah, I hope you as the listening audience are also that you also enjoy this. It's been a real treat to get this thing underway the last 2 times. And on that note, until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.